My name's Stephen USSR Robinson, and thank you for watching Sporting Icons.
So I was reading an article online, and it was by Sky Sports, where Sky Sports were giving out potential names that Tyson Fury could be sparring as he prepares for the Anthony Joshua fight. Now, before we get into a lot of it, and the reason I'm doing this video is so you guys, not so you can agree with some of the names that I pull out, but it's so we can have like a bit of a chat in the comment section, and of course with each other, as to who Tyson Fury should bring in as sparring partners to prepare for Anthony Joshua. But Tyson Fury does have a criteria, and I'll discuss that in a minute, okay? So before you start firing potential sparring partners, listen to the criteria first. Now, Sky Sports were putting out names such as Martin Bakole. Now, you think Sky Sports would be a little bit more savvy, a little bit more knowledgeable as to who could legitimately be helping Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. Martin Bakole will not be one of them. Never say never, but it's very unlikely because Martin Bakole is very good friends with Anthony Joshua. He sparred many, many rounds with Anthony Joshua, and he's part of Anthony Joshua's management team. So it's very unlikely that he's going to be helping Tyson Fury. Okay, so that's why I kind of disagree with the name Sky Sports were putting out. But again, they've probably done it to get the likes of me and you to talk about potential sparring partners. So they've kind of done their job from that angle, and hopefully within this video, that's the kind of conversation that we're going to have. Now, the criteria for Tyson Fury. Okay, Anthony Joshua is 6'6" with that 80-inch reach. We know Anthony Joshua is broad. He's very strong on the inside. He likes to throw the uppercut. He's very heavy-handed with both hands. And lately, he's been very twinkle-toed. Okay, he can move around a lot more, which is always a criticism for Anthony Joshua beforehand. But now he's doing exactly that. He can box and he can fight. Okay, so this is kind of the criteria. But the criteria for historically at least, for Tyson Fury is that he doesn't always go out to get carbon copies of his opponent. Because trying to get a carbon copy of Anthony Joshua is going to be quite difficult, isn't it? Trying to get a carbon copy for Anthony Joshua, which we'll talk about in the next video, as he prepares for Tyson Fury, trying to find a 6'9" heavyweight who will move and fight the same way Tyson Fury. It's going to be a very, very difficult task. Okay, so what Tyson Fury likes to do is he likes to look at his opponent. Okay, and we can use Deontay Wilder as an example. Okay, where Deontay Wilder is 6'7". Tyson Fury didn't bring in any 6'7" sparring partners. He brought in, say, Lawrence Okolie. Lawrence Okolie is 6'5", so he's 2 inches shorter than Deontay Wilder. But physically, he's very, very similar to Wilder, as in quite slender. Okay, big right hand, not as powerful as Deontay Wilder for sure, but he still punches enough that Fury's going to have to be aware of it. The way that Lawrence Okolie moves, the way that he pounces in and out of range is very, very similar to Deontay Wilder. So these are one of the reasons why Lawrence Okolie was brought in, albeit Lawrence Okolie is a cruiserweight, Wilder is a heavyweight. But weight-wise, not too much difference, okay? But he also brought in, say, a George Fox. He brought in a Joe Joyce and others like that. Again, Joe Joyce, as an example, 1 inch shorter than Deontay Wilder. Fighting-wise, they're polar opposites, aren't they? But Joe Joyce will give Tyson Fury rounds. He will make Tyson Fury think. He will realize that Joe Joyce is stronger than Deontay Wilder. So if he can manhandle Joe Joyce and box the ears off, say, a Joe Joyce, he shouldn't have too much problems on fight night with Deontay Wilder. These are the kind of things that Tyson Fury likes to do, and he likes to bring in prospects such as George Fox and others, okay? So that's what Tyson Fury likes to do. So when we look at potential sparring partners for Tyson Fury, I've tried to keep it local, again, because of the international travels and everything, but I have gone into Europe as well. One of the European fighters I think might be an ideal sparring partner for Tyson Fury would be Filip Hrgović. Now, automatically, you may say, but Filip Hrgović is a matchroom fighter. Why would he help Tyson Fury? Filip Hrgović has no loyalty one way or another. Okay, Filip Hrgović is 6'6", exactly the same as Anthony Joshua, with an 80-inch reach. Exactly the same as Anthony Joshua. He's a heavyweight, he's heavy-handed with both, and he's strong. So that would be a pretty good criteria fit for Tyson Fury as he prepares for Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, with Filip Hrgović. Other ones we could look at, say, my good friend in, say, Stephen Robinson. And I'm not just saying this just to plug him, not at all. And again, I've had conversations with heavyweights and that before about potentially sparring Stephen and whatever, like, such as Dillian White. I had a phone call about it. But as we said, and as I said as well, that Stephen is not ideal for Dillian White as he prepares for Alexander Povetkin, because size difference, they're totally different. Okay, Stephen Robinson is 6'7", so he's much bigger. The punches are a lot harder than Alexander Povetkin, but didn't have the experience as Alexander Povetkin, that kind of thing. But we were talking about Stephen Robinson going with Dillian White, so Stephen can spar his other sparring partners, that kind of thing. And of course, for experience for Stephen as well. But it's that kind of conversation. So when it comes to him, he's 1 inch taller than Anthony Joshua, which is not much, with a 1 inch reach over Anthony Joshua. So again, not much. So this already is the perfect fit for him to spar Stephen Robinson as he prepares for Anthony Joshua. He's strong. Physically, he's a perfect replica for Anthony Joshua. Same physique, very, very strong on the inside. And one of the things that Stephen has as well, the fact that he can punch very, very hard with both hands, is the fact that he's got that uppercut. It's the same uppercut as what Anthony Joshua throws. Stephen will throw that uppercut quite a few times each and every round, like Anthony Joshua tries to do. He's got a very good chin as well. And again, people will say, but Anthony Joshua doesn't have a very good chin. We've seen what happened with Andy Ruiz Jr. Joshua has a very good chin. He does. He took big shots by Vladimir Klitschko. He's took the left hook of Dillian White. He's took the left hook of Alexander Povetkin and quite a few others. He does have a very, very good chin. Just that in that Andy Ruiz Jr. fight, he got hit on the temple, a shot that he wasn't expecting, and it happened. It's heavyweight boxing. It happens. And nobody out there invincible. So, but Stephen Robinson, he's never been dropped as a professional. Of course, he's only 3-0. Never been dropped as an amateur. His record as an amateur is 46 wins and 60 defeats. Those 60 defeats, 3 of those were robberies. He was screwed on the points, but he always lost on points. Okay, but he's almost identical to Anthony Joshua in virtually every way. Don't be wrong, he's not as experienced as Anthony Joshua, even though he's had pretty much the same amount of fights as an amateur, but he doesn't have the experience of the championship rounds. He doesn't have the experience of what Anthony Joshua's gone through, for sure. But he's strong, he's sturdy, and he'll give Tyson Fury those rounds. Him fighting Stephen Robinson is almost like having an Anthony Joshua in front of you as far as physically goes, the fact that he's heavy-handed with both. He can take Tyson Fury rounds. Also, he's been sparring a lot of heavyweights himself, such as Martin Bacoli, such as Joe Joyce, such as he just recently spent 6-7 weeks with Hughie Fury as he prepared for Marius Wack. So for me, ideal sparring partner. Again, it's not just because he's my friend or anything, it's just a natural fit. Okay. Other ones as well, we can look at Daniel Dubois. Again, a lot of it will be dependent on Daniel Dubois' eye. Is it healed? Is he okay? All that kind of thing. But Daniel Dubois, he's 1 inch shorter than Anthony Joshua with 1 inch reach, less than Anthony Joshua. So again, not too much difference. Tyson Fury will be perfectly fine with that. And the fact that he's somewhat of a prospect, much like Stephen Robinson. Tyson Fury likes to have prospects in there, those with energy, who want to prove themselves to Tyson Fury. That's what Fury wants. And the fact that Dan Dubois is strong on the inside. The fact that he throws the uppercuts. The fact that he's heavy-handed with both hands. The fact that he moves very, very similar to Joshua. Although Joshua is, as I said before, especially lately, a bit more on his toes. He has a bit more movement about him, front foot and back foot. Joshua is adding to his game, which is fantastic. So Dan Dubois will be an ideal sparring partner as well. So for me, I think those three, just those three alone, will be great sparring for Tyson Fury. Filip Hrgović, Stephen Robinson, Daniel Dubois. Based on the height, based on the physical attributes, based on the uppercut, which is very key for Anthony Joshua, based on the fact that all three of these are heavy-handed with both hands, and they can all give Tyson Fury rounds. That's for sure. Anyway, in the next video, we'll talk about who Anthony Joshua could bring in as he prepares for Tyson Fury. So anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.